Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bill Goodwin speaking. The National Broadcasting Company presents for the United States Treasury Department Homage to George Gershwin, conducted by Paul Whiteman, with Bing Crosby, Dinah Shore, the King's Men, the Gilbert Allen Choir, the Paul Whiteman Orchestra combined with the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra, and as Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Edward Arnold. Tonight's program, produced by David Elton, features the same artists who generously contributed their talents in the Gershwin 5th Anniversary Concert at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles on June 18th, under the auspices of the Southern California Symphony Association, in cooperation with members of the Los Angeles Musicians Association. It's particularly fitting that Paul Whiteman, the Dean of Modern Music, should conduct this evening's tribute to George Gershwin. After all, it was Pops Whiteman who first insisted that Gershwin turn his talents to serious composition, and then introduced his Rhapsody in Blue at the now historic concert at Aeolian Hall on February 12, 1924. Since then, Paul has played the Rhapsody at least once daily, because to him it symbolizes the freedom and democracy he's always striven to express. Thus, it's doubly fitting that this tribute to George Gershwin should be presented over a nationwide network on the anniversary of the birth of freedom and democracy in the world, under the auspices of an agency of our government which again invites you to reaffirm your faith in our way of life by buying a share of freedom today. For this 4th of July has a greater significance to Americans than any since 1776, when the Continental Congress proclaimed the equality of man and the rights of each individual to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Today, we can each pledge anew our allegiance to these principles by pledging to invest at least 10% of our income in war bonds and stamps in the future of our country. And now the concert is about to begin. The 11th of July will mark 5 years since the passing of George Gershwin. Those 5 years will be told by the chimes, after which you will hear the voice of Mr. Edward Arnold in a eulogy to the beloved composer, written by Oscar Hammerstein II, with a musical setting created by Felix Mills. Paul Whiteman conducts.
Wrote music, and in that mold he created gaiety and sweetness and beauty. And 24 hours after he had gone, his music filled the air, and in triumphant accents proclaimed to this world of men that gaiety and sweetness and beauty do not die. A genius differs from other men only in that his immortality is tangible. What he thought, what he felt, what he meant has been crystallized in a form of expression, a form far sturdier than the flesh and sinew of the man. But lesser beings than geniuses leave their marks upon this earth, and it is as a lesser being that George Gershwin's friends knew him and loved him. We remember a young man who remained naive in a sophisticated world. We remember a smile that was nearly always on his face, a cigar that was nearly always in his mouth. He was a lucky young man, lucky to be so in love with the world, and lucky because the world was so in love with him. It endowed him with talent, it endowed him with character, and rarest of all things, it gave him a complete capacity for enjoying all his gifts. It was a standing joke with us that George could not be dragged away from a piano. He loved to play the piano, and he played it well. And he enjoyed his own playing. How glad we are now that some divine instinct made him snatch every precious second he could get at that keyboard. Made him drink exultingly of his joy-giving talent. Made him crowd every grain of gratification he could get into his short, blessed life. Maybe the greatest thing he left us is this lesson. Maybe we take the good things of life too much for granted. Maybe we took George too much for granted. We loved him. Should we not have loved him more? Have we ever loved him so much as we do now? Have we ever said so as we do now? We are all inadequate, muddling humans with hearts and minds woefully unequipped to solve the problems that beset us. We are eloquent in the recognition of our troubles. Why are we not equally eloquent in the recognition of our blessings, as George was? Some will want a statue erected for him. He deserves this. Some will want to endow a school of music in his name. He deserves this. But his friends could add one more tribute in his honor. They could try to appreciate and be grateful for the good things in this world. In his honor, they could try to be kinder to one another. And this would be the finest monument of them all. And now, let us turn to the heritage of gaiety and sweetness and beauty which George Gershwin left us in such tunes as these. This is Edward Arnold again. The roster of alumni of the Paul Whiteman organization reads like the musician's blue book. And perhaps the most famous of all the graduates is our next guest of honor, Bing Crosby. Bing, I guess you're happy to get back to this reunion with Paul and this Gershwin Memorial.
I'm both happy and proud, Eddie. It's a great honor to be allowed to pay my humble but sincere homage to the genius who composed American in Paris, Concerto in F, Of Thee I Sing, and when you want 'em, you can't get 'em. When you got 'em, you don't want 'em.
I don't suppose you're going to do any of those.
No, Eddie, Pops and I have started the fire under this Victor Young arrangement of Somebody Loves Me.
All right, Bing, you may serve when ready.
Somebody loves me, I wonder who she can be. Somebody loves me, I wish I knew. Who can she be? Where is me? For every girl who passes by, I shout, hey, maybe you were meant to be my loving baby. Somebody loves me, I wonder who. Maybe it's you. Passes by, I shout, hey, maybe you were meant to be my loving baby. Somebody loves me, I wonder who.
Bing Crosby will be back in just a little while. Now, here are four more graduates of the Whiteman School. Reading from left to right, they are Ken Darby, Radlin Robinson, Grafton Lynn, and John Dodson, collectively known as the King's Men. and popularly known as America's favorite quartet, Paul Whiteman and the orchestra accompanying. So, with Ralph Hallenbeck's arrangements, the boys wandered down one of the side lanes in Gershwin's wide field of composition marked Misha, Yasha, Pasha, Sasha.
We really think you ought to know that we were born right in the middle of darkest Russia. When we were 3 years old or so, we all began to play the fiddle in darkest Russia. When we began, our notes were sour until a man, Professor Auer, set out to show us one and all how we could pack them in to Carnegie Hall. Temperamental Oriental gentlemen are we. Misha, Yasha, Sasha, Sasha, diddly-diddly-dee. Shakespeare said, what's in a name? With him we just agree. Names like Johnny, Jack, or Joe never bring the heavy dough. Just Misha, Yasha, Tasha, Sasha, diddly-diddly-diddly-diddly-dee. Temperamental Oriental gentlemen are we. Misha, Yasha, Tasha, Sasha, diddly-diddly-dee. We give credit where it's due, but then you must agree that outside of dear old Fritz, all the fiddle concert hits are Misha, Yasha, Tasha, Sasha, diddly-diddly-diddly-diddly-dee. Temperamental Oriental gentlemen are we. Misha, Yasha, Tasha, Sasha, diddly-diddly-dee. We're affected not a bit by vanity, you see. Still we feel you must admit no one else is worth a whit. Just Misha, Yasha, Tasha, Sasha, diddly-diddly-dee. Diddly-diddly-dee.
Freddie Groffet's arrangement of Rhapsody in Blue needs no introduction. You've undoubtedly heard Paul Whiteman play it many times since Gershwin dedicated it to Paul 18 years ago. So I would like to say a word about the youngest member of the Whiteman Orchestra, Harold Weed, or Buddy as we call him, who is achieving a much cherished desire in this evening's concert. George Gershwin has always been Buddy's idol. Buddy set out early in his musical career to be as nearly like the famous composer as possible, even arranging to study under Herman Wasserman, who was one of Gershwin's teachers. Consequently, I can say in all sincerity, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Harold Buddy Weed with Paul Whiteman's orchestra in George Gershwin's immortal Rhapsody in Blue.
we pause momentarily in this program for the United States Treasury Department for station identification. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the National Broadcasting Company's presentation for the United States Treasury Department of the George Gershwin 5th Anniversary Concert with Paul Whiteman, Bing Crosby, Dinah Shore, the King's Men, the Gilbert Allen Choir, and your Master of Ceremonies, Edward Arnold.
The program so far has been entirely too masculine in character, so I bring you now a charming young lady who intends to remedy that situation, Dinah Shore. Like all the artists here this evening, Dinah needs no further introduction. She's going to sing Gordon Jenkins' arrangement of They Can't Take That Away From Me.
The way you wear your hair, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, they can't take that away from me. The way your smile just beams, the way you sing of peace, the way you haunt my dreams. No, they can't take that away from me. We may never meet again on the bumpy road to love. Still I'll always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we dance so free, the way you've changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me. No.
Keep it yours. And here again is Edward Arnold.
In olden times, when one composer wished to pay tribute to another composer, he borrowed a theme and wrote a variation on it. Today, our modern arrangers still borrow melodies from the masters and do things to them. And some of the things they do to them are definitely not a tribute. But such is not the case in Paul Whiteman's next selection, but I'm sure that George Gershwin would have been proud of this James Mundy arrangement of Lady Be Good. King's Men returned for their encore, choosing a tune which was introduced in Gershwin's hit musical Girl Crazy, and which then went on from there to take the country by storm. Remember Biding My Time?
Some fellas like to tiptoe through the tulips. Some fellas go on singing in the rain. Some fellers keep on painting skies with sunshine. Some fellers keep on swinging down the lane. But I'm biding my time, 'cause that's the kind of bad time. Other folks grow dizzy, I keep busy. Biding my time. Next year, something's bound to happen. This year, I'll just keep on napping. And bide my time, 'cause that's the kind of bad time. There's no regretting when I'm sitting biding my time. I'm biding my time, 'cause that's the kind of bad time. Beginning on a Monday, right through Sunday, biding my time. Next year, something's bound to happen. This year, I just keep on napping and bide my time, 'cause that's the kind of time. Strangers so long, I'll just go along by.
It wasn't until Al Jolson introduced his song Swanee in Sinbad that Gershwin's star began to rise. From then on, his output became prolific, including such musical reviews as George White's Scandals, Lady Be Good, OK, Girl Crazy, and Of Thee I Sing, which was awarded the Pulitzer Prize in 1932. His serious works up to this time, in addition to Rhapsody in Blue, were Concerto in F and An American in Paris. In 1933, he began his most ambitious effort, the task of setting Dubose Hayward's novel Porgy and Bess to music. The results you all know. Before Mr. Whiteman presents selections from Porgy and Bess, let me say that the two men whose anniversaries we honor today have a great deal in common, in that they thought constantly of the people, worked for the people, and are dearly loved by the people. I'm sure that the older of the two, our own Uncle Sam, is mighty proud of his nephew, George Gershwin. Now, here are selections from Porgy and Bess, arranged by Marlon Skiles for Bing Crosby, Dinah Shore, and the Gilbert Allen Choir.
got plenty of nothing, and nothing's plenty for me. I got no car, got no mule, I got no misery. The folks with plenty of plenty got a lock on the door, afraid somebody's going to rob 'em while they's out making more. What for? I got no lock on the door, that's no way to be. They can steal the rug from the floor, that's okay with me, 'cause the things that I prize, like the stars in the skies, all are free. I got my gal, I got my song, got heaven the whole day long. Got my gal, got my Lord, got my song. necessarily so.
It ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible,
Well, it ain't necessarily so.
little Moses was found in a stream. Little Moses was found in a stream. He floated on water till old Pharaoh's daughter, she fished him, she said, from that stream.
Jonah, he lived in a whale. Jonah, he lived in a whale. For he made his home in that fishes abdomen. Jonah, he lived in a whale.
Way back in something B.C.
Man, that's early.
Old Adam and Eve had to flee. Sure they did that deed in that Garden of Eden. But why just to rise you and me?
Little David was small, but oh my.
You sure?
Little David was small, but oh my. He fought big Goliath, who lay down and died. Little David was small, but oh my.
Methuselah lived 900 years.
Like an old man.
Methuselah lived 900 years. But who calls that living when no gallows given to no man? What's 900 years? To get into heaven, don't snap for a seven. Live clean, don't have no thought.
Oh, I takes that gospel whenever it is possible, but with a grain of salt. Solomon had 600 wives.
Solomon had 600 wives.
He's a marrying man.
He's known for his wisdom.
But I say he is dumb who takes himself 600 wives. I'm preaching this sermon to show ain't necessarily so.
truth is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your mother's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna wake up singing, and then you'll spread your wings, and you'll take the sky. But till that morning, there's nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mammy standing by.
One of these mornings, you're gonna wake up singing. Then you spread your wings and you take to the
Oh, till that morning, there's nothing can harm you.
with Daddy and Mommy. This has been a tribute to George Gershwin by those who knew and loved him. Here is Bing Crosby to speak in behalf of the 4 million men who are ready to give their lives that you and I may continue to listen to programs such as these in security and peace. Bing.
Well, the one important thing you got to do is join up with the 10% club. It's real easy to belong. All you got to do is just tell your boss to snatch 10% out of your pay envelope and pass it along to Mr. Whiskers for war bond. See, that's not much to ask. A mere dime on a buck isn't given till it hurts, because you can't give enough money to hurt. I mean, hurt the way some guys are getting hurt. So go ahead, bounce it on the barrelhead for 10% of your take. Pay your way. Pick up your share of the check. It's a funny thing. Freedom ain't free, but whatever you pay for it, it's sure worth it. And 10% of what you earn is little enough to pay for a permanent membership in the human race.
Then you can say that again. And now, friends, here is the man whose untiring efforts are mainly responsible for this evening's great performers. The king himself, Paul Whiteman.
Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, Eddie. First, I want to say that whatever I contributed to today's concert, I did both gladly and gratefully, because George Gershwin was my friend. And I want to thank the many, many people who gave so unselfishly of their time and talent to make this concert a success. Bing, Dinah, the King's Men, the choir, the boys in the orchestra, the arrangers, Mr. Ira Gershwin, who helped plan the concert, the Hollywood Victory Committee, and all the others whom I haven't the time to thank in name. Tonight's program has made me very, very happy.
Thank you, Paul Whiteman. That leaves little for me to add, except that for all of today's artists, and especially myself, this has been a privilege and an honor.
The Gershwin 5th Anniversary Concert, conducted by Paul Whiteman, with Bing Crosby, Edward Arnold, Dinah Shore, the King's Men, the Gilbert Allen Choir, the members of Paul Whiteman's orchestra, The Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra, and yours truly, Bill Goodwin, has been a presentation of the National Broadcasting Company for the United States Treasury Department. This program has come to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.